it was her instinct. Like, we should bring in Benito and Bad Bunny. Turns out he's also an incredible actor. And, hopefully he can do more things. He's an artist in more ways than one. And I think the world knows that and sees it. And
Hi, David. How are you?
good. How are you doing, Francisco?
And I'm a very Japanese.
I see it.
As you can see.
You are.
I think this feels like a full circle because I understand that one of your first jobs was to be the stuntman for Brad Pitt in the Fight Club. And looking back, maybe that was the first step in an amazing journey that, for me, has redefined the action movie. So I want to ask if you can take us back through your journey from a kickboxing teacher and a stuntman to one of the most important directors in Hollywood, because it's too easy to say, but I think there has been also a lot of work and a lot of challenges on the road.
There have been, and it's a long journey. It's like a 20-year journey. So I guess if I could distill it down for you and not take too much of your time, I was obsessed with martial arts for such a long time. I found an avenue, and I competed in martial arts, and I trained martial arts, and I still train to this day. I needed to find an avenue to use all this useless martial arts knowledge. And so turns out that being a stunt performer and a fight choreographer is the way to do it. And I was lucky enough to have the fate brought me to Fight Club, and I was doubling Brad Pitt and teaching him how to fight and helping design those sequences. And it was a really important moment in my stunt career where I met all the big people who worked on these big tentpole movies. And Brad took a liking to me. We hit it off, and we went on and did, 4 movies together, and all the way through Mr. and Mrs. Smith. And we created a really great chemistry. And then I went on my separate way. I was starting to direct action in these bigger movies. And, Chad and I got a chance to do John Wick together. And then from there, it was Atomic Blonde and, Deadpool. And it just sort of, the last, 5-6 years have been nonstop, directing. And, but again, it was like a journey of stunts along the way, 5 years with Brad, 3 years with Jean-Claude, we did a year on the Matrix movies, and then, movies with Zack Snyder and 300, and then back with the Wachowskis. And I got to work with a lot of great filmmakers that influenced who I am today.
Oh, no, thank you.
You know what? Do you have anything sparkling? That's the one. Thank you. Domo arigato.
How much fun was to do this movie?
Oh my gosh, it was so. I mean, if you laughed out loud watching this movie, it was like that times 10 making the movie. Do you know what I mean? Every day we went and we shot it in a pandemic. It was a really bleak time, and we went to work every day, and we just wanted to make each other laugh. And it kind of transpired across, came across on screen, and we kind of kept it. We just went really bold, and it seemed to work, I guess,
Yeah, we signed on to do something incredibly ridiculous, which was to play assassins on a train trying to find a briefcase, and we ultimately lose the briefcase to this idiot named Ladybug. And so we're doing everything we can to get it back. It's kind of like a comedy of errors in its own way, right? You get these people who have their own beliefs and their own superstitions. It's so funny that these assassins, who their job is to kill people, have these superstitions and are all about luck and unluck, and it panned out to be just a huge comedy that was so unexpected. I didn't know that I could laugh that many ways of Brad Pitt being punched, but I can, and I will do it over and over and over again. So it was really fun to do.
As I was watching the movie, the further got into it and the more extreme and over-the-top action sequences became, my mind blew off because, you just said it was shot during the pandemic. The movie was filmed in a studio lot, and because of the movie takes place on the train by design, the fights and all the sequences have to be different. Small camp of action. So how did you adjust to that?
Yeah, you'd be surprised how many different fight sequences you can get on a train, huh? You know, I think it gave us the elements. You know, you're on a claustrophobic container moving at an incredible speed, and we're all looking for the same thing, and we'll take out anybody to get it. You know, I think it just gives you so much as an actor to play with. And then, you know, you're using the elements around you. You know, you might use a stuffed up momomon, or you might use a couple of chopsticks and some wasabi. You know, it just, those elements are what give it that action comedy element, and that's David Leitch, you know, in a nutshell.
Ruin your life the way you ruin mine.
Dude, I don't even know you.
Silver Train, the movie, the scenes, the cast and the chemistry reflects a very unique theme. And I think the chemistry was one of my favorite things. And as well, I had to ask about the call to bring in Bad Bunny, not in a bad sense, because he's a top performer, but we didn't know about he could act as well.
We didn't. And, you know, I got to give kudos to my producer, Kelly McCormick, and she's my wife as well. And she produced Atomic Blonde and Deadpool and Hobbs and Shaw. And it was her instinct, like, we should bring in Benito and Bad Bunny. And I was like, I mean, and she's like, do you understand how great of an artist he is? He sort of transcends, you know, watch his music videos. You'll see like the nonverbal storytelling that's going on. Like, and I'm like, well, okay, let's take a meeting. Can we get him? And so we took a meeting, and immediately you could feel his charisma and sort of his raw passion. And it was exactly what we needed for the character. You know, this is a character who had a first love and a lost first love. And he has, again, Benito can be a guy who wears his heart on his sleeve. And all I needed to do was get that natural sort of thing out of him. And turns out he's also an incredible actor, and you know, hopefully he can do more things. You know, Sony saw it, and they have now, you know, brought him a Marvel. But that's all kudos to him. Like, he's an artist in more ways than one, and I think the world knows that and sees it. And I'm blessed to have worked with him.
We need to come up with a plan. Not gonna hurt people.
And Brian, I want to ask about how Thomas the Tank Engine helped you to build your character, because, I mean, that's a British cartoon. I'm not sure if it was shown in America, if you had seen it before.
It was, you know, I was a kid raised by television for most of my life. So like, I was an 80s, 90s kid. So I had Nickelodeon, you know, I had Disney Afternoon, I had every Muppet and Smurf you can think of. And like Thomas the Tank Engine actually was like the serious show. Like, when I watched Thomas the Tank Engine, I was like, okay, wait, what am I about to learn from this train? So it was kind of funny that I saw that this was something that the character Lemon really held on to, because out of all the cartoons and out of all the things, he picked this one that really had a lot of life lessons. And I think that it was his own little therapy of how to get by, of like figuring out who's good and who's bad. So I do have memories of Thomas the Tank Engine. They were all very, very serious though. Like,
that's great. Thank you so much. Have a great evening, and congratulations on a great movie.
Thanks, man.
Thank you for being a fan and supporting Bullet Train. And, you know, I look forward to the world seeing it.
You sure you want to talk this out?
Not particularly, no.
Okay.